Pick up another you call in the parking lot Tucson. Are you with me? When I stand with the roof gone, I pull up like Jimmy Neutron. Looking up, you get a move on. Like you haul, and I know we need to go slow, but we could go faster. Maybe the best.
I don't know if anyone's up. Hopefully you see this. Good morning. Welcome in. Welcome to the channel. I know y'all gonna be like, she went live. Yes, I did. I went live early in the morning. I changed my time. I couldn't go to sleep. So if you see this, I apologize. But we're gonna make this quick. We're gonna make this happen so we can go to sleep. Now we're gonna go ahead and go to Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi. Okay. Now we get into Marie. So Marie is going out, basically, talking to Latrice, and I believe she's going on a date. Yes, a date, you guys. She looked nice in her red. She looked gorgeous. I believe she's going on a date. So Latrice, Marie. I'm sorry, it's not a date. It's a little talk, but it could be. So Marie and Latrice have a conversation, and Marie saying, Latrice is telling her about, loosening up and everything. So, say we got to loosen up. So Marie loosen up. And Latrice say, you told us about your rendezvous. And they were saying about how Marie had a threesome. And Marie started laughing. She said, wait, that was so long ago. I just don't remember that. She said, Latrice said, I want you to be sure as well. So Latrice said they played a game. And then Marie said, okay, so she like playing a game, true or false. And then, Marie said, before you got married to your husband, you dated a woman before, right? And Latrice said, no, she never dated a woman. And Marie said, Treese. And then Latrice said, I never. And Marie said, she is not telling the truth. She's not telling the truth at all. So she's hitting her finger saying the fib. And then, Marie say Latrice. And then Latrice, I've never. And Latrice say Marie is the queen of deflection. And Latrice, every time she asks Marie, do she like women? She can't give her a straight answer, but direct it to her, tells her everything that she needs to know. And then, Latrice say she glad ain't none of the other Bells there. And then Marie say, wait a minute. She say, so speaking of the Bells, she say about the other Bells, she said it's been a lot of outside noise, with Shantae. And they showed a clip about Shantae and Latrice and how she stood up for Letitia and asked her if she felt any different about the situation between her and Letitia. And Latrice say, you're Letitia friend. You don't have nothing to say to me. That was like the first or second episode of the season. And then Marie said that she come around Letitia and Nets all the time. And Latrice said her her thing is she trying to check, Latrice was like, is Shantae trying to check you about her friendship with Letitia? And she said, what does she talk about her friend? When she talk about her friend, and Marie said, if it's an issue with Shantae, why not address it with Shantae? Whatever the problem is, she's going to come around. And I agree. And Latrice say she don't have to address a simple thing with Shantae. I agree on both. I agree. If it is an issue, why not address Shantae head on? Latrice is like avoiding conflict. It's just the usual. But I don't know. I think she should address it. That's just me. So Marie started laughing, and Latrice said she don't F with her. And Latrice said that Shantae was the reason why Latrice don't F with Shantae because she feel like Shantae talks about Letitia. And Shantae said she was Latrice said Shantae was at Taste and she heard her tell a mutual friend that Glendale tried to talk to her, and she said to her that's not a friend because why would you withhold that information from your best friend? And Marie says she's going to host a get together and she's going to have all the Bells and have a conversation with Shantae, and Shantae, and she gonna sit out the message so they can let Letitia know how they feel about having Shantae be the outside noise about how they feel about the situation. and tell her why, and maybe Letitia will see their perspective. And Latrice say she gonna pray on it, and Letitia say she gonna send out the message. She say, "Hey Belle," she said in the message, "Hey Belle, stay tuned for a latest get together with all the ladies, including Carrie." Her and I know she didn't just say that her backpedaling is swimming stuff. Why did she call Carrie backpedaling swimming? Why would you do that, Marie? Why? Marie and Carrie relationship is very, I don't know, it's more sisterly than friends, because they can, it seemed like Carrie and Marie can call each other out and still be cool. But isn't that little sister big sister petty way? Excuse me if I sound strange. I have not drunk nothing. I'm drinking coffee and I have not slept. Okay, I haven't slept. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have these moments of insomnia, to where I just sit up sometimes and just be on my phone googling stuff, asking, is the world really flat? Are they really aliens? How are pine snakes? Just some weird ass shit. Forgive me. My mind go racing. It'll crash after the Duggars trust. So, Latrice said, "Girl," and then Marie said, "Details are coming soon." So, Latrice says she don't want to hear that. And then Marie says she really don't trust Carrie, because if you say something, just stand in it. And, Marie said Carrie pinning the baby rumor on her don't sit well with her. And, you can went where Carrie said she wasn't trying to throw anybody under the bus, and she pointed at Marie and said somebody else did mention and how they agreed and had a conversation already that there was a mention and stuff like that, which made it a little more awkward than what it is. And somebody called, and Marie said, her issue with Carrie is that she did address that way, and then when they did have the conversation, Carrie denied it the next, and it was like, she just can't trust her. And Marie says she's showing her true colors and what she's capable of lying. And so now I come to find out they're at the strip club, and Marie see the stripper and say, "Okay, girl, all right, I see you." Latrice say, "I see you over there looking." And Latrice said she do got some ones for her to throw at the strippers for her. Marie said, "Okay, all right, okay." She said, "This is for me." She said, "Yes, you ready, Marie?" She said, "Let's go." And she said, "That's what you really like, right?" And then Marie say, "No, we know this is what you really like." So they start joking, and she was like, "Ma'am, why don't you give her what she like, man?" They say, "Give her what she likes." So they both going back and forth. But the dancer made her a good little ones, baby, because they was just throwing it, honey. They were throwing it, having a good old time, just throwing the dance, the ones that she dropping it low and doing all her thing. I said, "Okay, y'all. Like, y'all just having fun. Okay, girl, let me help you." Like, that girl gonna make sure she pick up them bills. Y'all, shoot, ain't nothing wrong. Y'all know how I feel about it. Ain't nothing wrong with a couple of strippers. Strippers got light bill, rent, child care, food, car note, car insurance. If you can get all of that in 1 week, that people try to get in 2 weeks, and you can get all of that in one lump sum a week or whatever, do your thing. I'm not mad at you. So, they just throwing the ones, honey. She don't, that stripper done made her some good money, honey. And, they just throwing the runs and just dancing and just throwing the runs, And, Marie said it's been a while since she's actually have gotten out and just had a great time. And she said she glad that she stepped outside her comfort zone. And she said Latrice was a good time. She said she a vibe. So after they did that, they went and sat down and had some drinks. And you know what? And Latrice said, "You know what? Being outside is right, baby." Baby, they start drinking and having a good old time. So then we go to Letitia having a conversation with Glenn. And she tells Glenn that she had a conversation with the financial advisor. And Glenn said, "You did what?" And she said, "You have investments, you have 401k, you have retirement." She said, "I don't even know if I own those things." She said, I know I'm on your 401k, but I don't know, what am I the beneficiary?" She was like, "I want to know what's going on." And Glenn said his son is on there. She said, "But me." And Glenn say, "Yeah, you on there. Yeah, you always on there." He said, "My mama on there." So wait a minute now. Hold on. I thought your wife and your son should be on there. You got this money going three ways, Glenn. Your mama, Letitia, and little Glenn Jr. We gonna call him that. Glenn Jr. Come on, Glenn. Letitia is making the home for you. She's cooking, she cleaning, running a business. I know she ain't giving you no cake. Okay. Oh, I mean, but dang, she is making the house a home. You is eating 3 meals a day, and you probably got a lunch fix for you when you go to work. You can't give her that. And I know she not fixing you no basic lunch. She's making sure you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like you could give her more than that. Come on now. So Letitia say, so what, he said he got to split three ways. And she say it's split three ways. And she say, wow. And Glenn said he made his mama beneficiary on his access because that's what a son's supposed to do. And this is a lady that took care of me and under four siblings by himself. And he said he owe his mama the world. Okay. And he asked Letitia, was it a problem? She say, yeah. I mean, it kind of is in a way, but I understand kind of where he coming from. But then again, I'm kind of like, I get it, but then I'm like, come on, bro, this your wife. I get it. You should get your mama. You and Letitia could do what y'all gotta do, get your mother and her mother everything in the world right now. But to leave something to her, or at least not have some documented say, hey, Letitia, this is how I want things to go for my mom, or this is how I want, if anything happened, God forbid, this is how I want things to go. This is how I want it to be. This is how I want it in my will. I want my son to be good, you to be good, and make sure my mama's still good because my mama late, if anything. But I think Letitia mindset is, I mean, okay, you know what I'm saying? She thinking like hypothetically thinking, in a way, which I understand where she coming from. And so she say, yeah, it's a problem. She say, what else you not telling me? She say, what else? She say, because this is news to me. And she say, I love your mama, but what we doing here? And Letitia say, they talked about post nuptials agreement, and he said a post what? And she said a post nuptial. She said she want to get educated on that because they do have war. Clearly, thank God that we have what we have started out. And she said she wanted to decide what's what and what it looked like, and what and some of the stuff that you look like, what you have and what I have. He said what a post nuptial will look like. She's not saying she gonna leave you, Glenn. But I like her boundaries of. Let me tell you what Letitia is doing. And shout out to Letitia. I see she followed me after I left that comment. When Letitia told, because I said this, I'm going to say it again. When Letitia told y'all, oh, baby, I'm tired of carrying the show on my back, but meaning y'all going to get what y'all gave me, she meant that. I don't know why everybody acted oblivious like they forgot. She meant that, and that's exactly what she's doing. Letitia not only giving it to the people she felt that spite her in the betrayal, but she's also keeping Glenn on his toes with the boundaries. Please cheat again. Please let me find out. I have all this stuff prepared. Just do something messed up one time. I promise you, on everything I love, you keep playing with me, you're just going to be mad. And I like that she's doing it. Since you want to play, let me play too. So it's like Letitia really is playing how she want to play it. She playing how I can't get mad. Like R. Kelly say, when a woman's fed up, it ain't nothing you can do about it. And she letting Glenn know, okay, well, sis, if I don't get what I need and I don't get the boundary met and you don't meet me in the middle, because he really gave the ball in her court and he can't get mad now. Trust me. I want you to know this time I'm not playing with you. Like K. Michelle told her man, you gonna act right or else. And that's just what Letitia is giving. Like, I'm not finna play these games. I'm dead serious. If I have to, I will. And that's what she telling him. I'm not mad about it. Sometimes you have to. Do I love her and Glenn together? Absolutely. Whatever her decision is, any of the ladies, whatever, I would hate it. But I'ma support it because that's their decision. But at the same time, if this how she gotta let him know, hey, listen, this is where we are. This is how I want it to be. These are the boundaries they set because we can't. You're not gonna keep embarrassing me, not just on the national TV, but behind. I'm not doing that, and I agree with her because I ain't gonna lie. He has and put her through some stuff and came back, wrote songs, wrote love letters, and then it's something else that come out. So she just saying, hey, listen, I just want to let you know. I'm just letting you know. Because I agree with her saying she don't want to leave with nothing. The first time she tried to leave, she said she didn't have nothing to her name. And there are women who have been kept women and didn't have anything. You like they looking like damn, like, okay, now I don't blame her. After we see what happened to Tina Campbell, and I know Glenn ain't gonna pull shit like that. But after I see what Teddy did, I don't blame any woman or anybody making sure they secure when they leave it. I don't listen, I don't blame you. If anything, so he say that means a divorce. And he said, boy, you something else. And, Letitia say we have to be adults. And I think that's something that we have lacked. And he said he's not excited about it. He say, absolutely not. He say, nah, we not finna start doing those things right there. We ain't gonna never stop the game. Like, you're not gonna not be married to me. He say, I wouldn't walk away. He said, did he say he'll walk away from her? Hold on. He said, we ain't finna start the little games right now. We never start the little games to be married to me. Oh, he's saying he wouldn't walk away from her. And she did bring up the manager, and when she shared with her, she said, hypothetically, should I have my husband to be my manager? And what would that look like? She said, you could be her advisor. I agree that he could be her advisor. Let me tell you something. We have seen Wendy Williams' husband be her manager. We watch Wendy, the beautiful, amazing Wendy. Wendy been in radio for years, went and built a whole empire. We watched Kevin Hunter, sir, diminish that woman and broke her down into where she does not even have her show. We've seen Wendy be broken down. So having him as her advisor, I agree. We've seen this with Kevin Hunter. I'm trying to think who else. Who all else had manager as husbands? And is it Kelly Clarkson? May her ex-husband rest in peace. We saw all of that and how their careers just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you like, dang, like, okay, it's great. You're managing, and then what just happened? You know what I'm saying? So we saw that. So for her, I have to be honest. I agree with her telling her that. I agree. I agree. I agree. I think what he gotta understand is, and I think his thing is that she made too much more than me. Glenn, let me tell you something. You better listen. Beyonce has Blue Ivy as her manager, okay? Let me explain something to you. Jay-Z don't mind being on the sidelines. Sometimes it's okay to support your wife and be there when she needs you. But not step in to argue, okay? Just be there when she needs you. Let your wife plateau. Just like you're going to plateau at some point in life. And, going back to Pinky and her husband, where she said that they in the same industry and he was doing these great things and he felt like he leaving his wife behind because they were doing it together. It's okay. He had to do it, and then when she got back up and built herself back up to where she is, she started doing it. It's okay. So, he's sitting here laughing. And the teacher say, so think about that. She said, go there with me. She said, basically, you'll be the I like how she boosted him up. And I like how she boosted him. She like, you be like the think type. Like, you can think these ideas to help. That's what I'm talking about. Now, that's how you do it, Letitia. Go ahead. Yeah, like you boost him up. Listen, I understand you don't like advisor, but look at all the opportunities you got. Like, babe, no, it's not like that. But you come up with these ideas with me and we can make these ideas together. Okay. And she was like, it's me and you. She's saying, I think an advisor sound way better than a manager. And I like how she did that. And she said, you are my advisor. He said, okay, all right. She said, you my advisor. She said, how do you feel? He said, I feel great. Glenn like, hell no. She said, thank you. Glenn go put the fake smile. And he said he simply lost his appetite. He's not happy about that. He said he don't notice Letitia and he's struggling. He feel let me explain something what Glenn feel like. Glenn feel like he's losing his wife. What Glenn don't understand is what I had to learn from people, an older couple. I'm gonna tell you what they told me. In marriage, you change. You're a new person. Your wife is becoming she's becoming a new and better person, not just for you, but for herself and for your son. Let her grow. If you stunt her growth and she feel like you're holding her back, don't do that because you really gonna lose. You're really gonna lose. Don't hold her back. Let her grow. It might hurt you because you're used to one thing, but let her grow. Because if you don't let that woman grow and she feel like you stun her growth, that's what she really gonna be your ass. And I'm just telling you my advice. You change. You're growing too. You're learning as well. You're learning a new woman she becoming, and she's learning a new man that you becoming. That's the part of marriage. Being with somebody that you're willing to go through with it and learn who they are. And understand that this is team effort. It's what it is. It's not going to always be sunshine and rainbows. The routine is not going to always be the same. But as long as I know that if we go through high waters, you got mine and I got yours. Yes, she might be growing, but that still don't take the fact that she don't got your back. And that don't take the fact that you don't have hers. So go through it with her. That means it's just somebody you want to go through it with and meant to go through it with. And stop giving her so much hell about growing. It's okay. This is 2026. Okay? Your wife, just as long as you got things going against you as a black man, your wife has a lot going against her as a black woman. Just like be her, protect her. Protect her. When this show go on and when you see the comments, protect your wife from that mess in them comments. Okay? I'm telling you, that's your job. It's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna be fine. So they have a kid, it's probably would have been the last straw. Basically, whatever would make her feel good, he said he's not signing a post up, okay? So we gonna go into Carrie's husband, Matt, talk to his mother, okay? So Matt gonna meet with his mama, and mama got this nice, gorgeous white silver hair. And she say anything possible in the country. And then, Matt said Carrie been on the fence for a long time with the broken spoon, situation going on with the restaurant. And he said he giving so much effort trying to help. He said at some point he got to focus on what's important to him right now in his industry. And sitting down with his mom would help him feel his head, help his head, and being around his mom. She's definitely going to have some opinions about the situation, right? So he say, he glad that his mom can make some time for a mother-son brunch. He say, oh, I'm mother now. She saying, see, she ain't seen you in the, she was like, oh, I'm mama now. I ain't seen you in a minute. Like, where the hell you been? You ain't call me. You ain't text me. You call me, you text me. You ain't stopped by in a little while. Now, you good? What's going on? He said he been tired and busy, right? So, he say he think he mentioned the idea a few months ago that he was looking at potential on making a move with his job. And he said he's really started to think about the importance of his kids and his legacy and building something. And one day he can hopefully give back to them when they get older. He said he actually decided to transition away from the company he was with. And Matt said he's moving forward to a partnership with someone else that he known for 20 years. And he say the plan is to create an agency that for him, it's the best and respected small boutique agency in, in the baseball. He say, his mom asked how did he feel about it. He said he knows it's gonna kind of be scary at first and kind of hard, but he's prepared for it. And she say, yeah, you enjoy what you do, and that's very important. He say, oh, he feel like a weight been lifted off his shoulder, like a weight been lifted off his shoulder. He can finally, she say, like a weight off your shoulder. She say, you right in your back. You ride it down on your back. And she say he ain't talking about Carrie. He say, here we go, the opinions he been waiting for. He say, she say, she's basically saying Carrie been riding his back. He say that's not it. He's not carrying on the back. I don't know why his mama don't want him to be what I mean, Matt is a good man. What is the problem? What issue does she have with Carrie? Are they too much alike with the sense of humor? I'm sensing a little, I gotta act like I don't like her, but I guess, girl, type of way. And he say since day one, the relationship between Carrie and his mom has been pretty stressful, intense. His mom is stubborn. His wife is assertive. She asks how the things going with the kids. The times he been going to light. He say, yeah. She say she been there twice to sit with him. He was nowhere around. And he say, we both have a lot on our plate. Carrie and I with so much going on, with both of their jobs. And he say they're trying to find as much balance as they can. He say, how do they be good parents? And he said the interesting thing about him and Carrie, they've been together since they were teenagers. Oh, but at times, as they both chase success in two different lanes, it can become tough to juggle a career and home life. His kids getting older. It's a lot going on, and it's kind of stressful. And he said, Carrie don't listen to him much. He said that's something that we're working on. And child, let me drink my coffee. His mama is a mess. I love Carrie, but this lady's a hoot. Carrie, girl, you all right over there? She's a little hoot. Matt mama remind me of old school. Don't back talk me. Don't say thank you. Say miss. Don't I don't like how you saying it. What does that mean? What are you trying to say? It's a little condescending, I feel. Is that shit? I don't know how to take that. Matt's mom is old school. Like, she reminds me of old school. She funny, but then you gotta catch her because she gonna be like, I'm for real. Like, you don't know if she's being funny or she being serious because of her sense of humor. You see what I'm saying? Like, she'll give you backhand, but she one of them that you try to be nice, because if you go sideways, she looked like back in the day, she would drop kick you and karate chop you in your chest and your throat at the same time. And you go and you swallow hard and you don't say nothing, and you better shut up at the end of the day. And that's what she give. See, Karen mama look like she get the same thing too, but she gonna give you one more time. See, Matt mama is like, no warning. I'm just gonna smack you. Don't back talk. I didn't even say nothing. Tell me you said something. You know what I'm saying? Like, she not strict, she funny, but at the same time, you gotta be like, I don't know. She funny though. So, Matt saying something they're working on, and then his mama say she not gonna change, and you just going on along with everything, and everything is okay. And she say that's what you always done with Carrie. And Matt say, I try. You got to trust your partner to make good decisions. And he agreed that he probably gave her too much room to make decisions without him. And he's talking about the business, and his mama say, you sure did. She say, you have to put your foot down. And Matt say Carrie and him been in a complicated situation with mobile location with the Wow Now, and it's beginning to become very strained of financial. And then she said, you can't be so supportive. He say being too supportive. She say, right, she got to learn too that the most successful people themselves, their businesses are failing, but they didn't keep doing the same thing over and over. And he say, right, it's called insanity. And she said, yeah. And she say, Matt, what are we going to do about this entire situation? He say, me and her mom sat down with her and we're trying to push her as much as we can. Just like Carrie is assertive, when it comes to her business a little bit and it's something that she don't want to let go, Carrie can be stubborn. That's why his mama don't like her. It's not that, no, take that back. She loves Carrie, but she sees the stubborn part in Carrie that she see in herself. And that's why she like that on Carrie. It's not because she don't like her or nothing like that. They bump heads because she has a little bit of stubbornness too. When it comes to Carrie, Big Carrie don't want to let it go. Even if when it comes to her business, she's stubborn with it. And I don't play her. She's like Erykah Badu. She's sensitive with it. She don't play about her ish. You know what I'm saying? So I see why the mama kind of like, when you gotta put your foot there. Well, mama, and the twin would have you been in a little sense. Just like she's stubborn with certain things, Carrie is stubborn with her business. That is her babies. So I kind of see like, I'm seeing a reflection of the two. I understand Carrie don't want to let that go. And it's hard for Carrie because Carrie, I need to know Carrie's birthday. Is she a Taurus? Because Carrie is giving, or Virgo, the failure. I'm a Libra. I understand the failure sense. Like you feel like you failed in something. That I understand. I get it. Oh God, I get it. But then you have to say, you know what? I did all I could do. Just because it's not a failure, don't think it's a failure. Get ready for a rebirth because you're gonna rebirth a whole new idea. You're gonna take this time, like now you know what you did wrong and know how you did it. Now you know what not to do, and next time you do it, you come back better. That's just all. So it's not a failure. It's just you learning. And now that you know, trust me, the fire and the fuel, you're like, nah, we finna do this again. Like, nah, I sat down for a little bit for a minute. Let's make this one a success. Let's try another new location. Let's look at some other areas near colleges or something that's be great. Make a little more money and start that way. Then you start looking at other things. So it worked. It works. So they showed the clip of Matt and her mom and how Matt mom was saying that she need to cut her losses, and Matt said he could give her a message and her mom give her the same message, but she'll hear it differently from somebody else. And then mom said, oh, she'll hear it differently from somebody else. I was like, she's so funny. His mom and Carrie's mom were just funny to me. And then Matt said, yeah, maybe she need to hear from you. And Matt mom said, I might have to be somebody else. And he said the third part, maybe you can give her some advice to Carrie and tell her what I've been trying to tell her and what her mom been trying to tell her. And his mom said she might do that, she might. And then he said she might not be happy to hear what she got to say, but he think it'll really help her. And then the mama said, you got any boxing gloves around there? And he started laughing. She say, I need them. She is a hoot, okay? And then we get to Latrice's house. So Latrice's mom is over at her home, and she got some blankets for her and Latrice. Latrice got blankets for her and her mom to sit outside to just enjoy the nice weather, and talk. And she said she wanted to talk to her mom about some of the things that, her husband had said on the double date. And, about the Pierces, it bothered her, and the fact that he now does not want a child. Because when she was on a double date with the Pierces, she said he don't want a child. But it's crazy that he don't want a child because he's been begging Latrice for a child. Like, we saw him in seasons. He was like, why don't you slow down? Let's have a child. Let's do this. And now Latrice want to give him a child. He don't want one. So I'm kind of with Latrice like, oh, But then again, he probably looking at, she got this going on, the fibroids, the stress. I think he's scared. Like, I don't know. He's looking at, can my wife take this? He's not. I think Latrice just need to have a conversation about it and educate him on it. Next doctor appointment, have some conversations with the doctor, educate on what they can do just to help him feel at ease on having a child. And so she said the only person she can express the feelings to is to her mom because how she feel. And then her mama asked, these mamas are funny. Letitia mama funny as hell too. All their mamas are who. She said, how are you with these so-called Southern Belle friends? And she said, Latrice said, she said Tamara had an event because all the girls want, everybody to be transparent. And she said to her, they just want to be nosy and be in everybody's business. But she said they basically called Tamara out so bad that she felt like she had to do it, get to know me, an event. And, she said her baby came out at the end and it was so cute. And they showed a clip how, that cute little baby came out in her fur coat, her shades, honey, and her Tamara, is that a Maserati or Benz? I don't know which one, but her high class car, honey. Okay. And she didn't have on anything. She had on a fur coat, a real fur little mink coat. Okay. She is warm for the winter with her glasses. She is giving a rich girl behavior. So it showed that. And then Latrice said she just wanted to take her home with her. And Latrice's mama said, you must feel some type of way. And she said, yeah, we gonna, Latrice said kids never been her forefront, and her husband been asking for years for her to have a baby and to have a family, have kids. And she said she always been her, asking her about kids, and now she want a baby. He don't want to have kids. And she said he even jokes about having a vasectomy. And he did that at the double date when Letitia said, you're not going to stop doing what you're doing to get the baby. And he joked, he states that he can get, and Glenn said, snip, snip. See, this is why they miss their friendship, because they get each other. He said, that's right. And then, Latrice's mama asked, what made you, just want to have a child? And Latrice said, that with you have grandkids, you have children come to your house for the holidays, and she just feel like there's something that she would want, and she don't want to wait too long to have kids and not be able to have kids. And Latrice's mama said, do you truly feel like you're ready? And Latrice says she don't truly feel like she's ready, but just talking about it. She said, for one, she numb to coming expressing her feelings to her husband. Her mother asked why. And she said she think because growing up, because after she left her dad, her parents, separated, a lot happened. They had to move out the house, police kicking in the door, her losing sons. And of course, we're not in the hood anymore, but just growing up in the hood, seeing so much. Latrice's mama said you had a hard life growing up. And she said she tried to do the best that she could. Anything, and Latrice started crying. Oh, she said anything she had to have, she had the strap to get it. She said, but she got it. And she said, one thing you told me, she said, Mom, when I grow up, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to do something with myself. And she said she went to college. She made something out of herself, and she's very proud of her. And she said she's very proud of her. And Latrice started crying. I think Latrice needed that. Latrice, let me tell you something. You are stable. Baby, let me explain something to you, honey. I've been on here for a minute. I have seen mothers who are not stable and just popping out babies like men popping Viagra, okay? Do you understand? You have something going for yourself. You will be just fine. I know you don't want to wait too long, but I'm going to tell you right now with what's going on, can you give us at least 6 months for you to try? I know right now it's a lot going on. Cliff, don't you go get nothing snipped. Just take some time to work on what you need to work on. Look up some things, figure out some things, because you can afford childcare. You can afford this stuff that people can afford, right? and just make sure you have something for your child to fall back on. Just listen, I want to make sure this and that, this and that, this and that. Just have everything in order. You'll be fine. All of y'all are doing great. You're doing great. Okay? You're doing awesome. Trust. Now, I just want you to be prepared. Because if you have a boy, all they're going to want you for is some clothes money and food money when they get older. Have you cooked? Where you going? Did you cook today? You're going to have to, that girl, you're going to have to step in that kitchen. Trust me. The only thing I can tell you, if it's a boy, you really going to have to be in the kitchen, honey. Can you cook? Mom, you got something to eat? I'm hungry. The only time you come is when you hungry. Trust me. Just be prepared. Y'all going to have a good time. So, she was saying that she proud of her. Latrice, started crying. And she said, thank you, mother. And she started crying and smiling. She said that means a lot to say it. And, Latrice say that hearing her mom say that she's proud of her has something that she wanted to hear for a long time since she was a little girl. And she said her mom is what drives her and she want to make her proud. And, if she approves anything that she does, that means that she did her job. And Latrice says she know he could be a great father. And so Latrice's mama saying, so y'all just got to, which I agree, y'all just have to sit down and talk. And Latrice saying, no, you have to have a conversation with him. He always listens to you. She saying, so maybe if you talk to him, you have a different story and a different tone. And so Latrice say it's very hard for her to be vulnerable with her husband, but she feel like her mother can reach him that she cannot. And she said he listens to her and values her and respects her opinion. So, she can get more out of him than me. And then her mama asked, what do you want, a boy or a girl? And she says she want a boy. Ooh, girl. Good luck. I love my son. I do, always. I go to war. But girl, when they hit by the growth spurt, fill up. Fill up the house. Snacks, chips, all of that. Fruit, double it. Cases of water, triple it. Juice, and you might want some natural, double it. Chips, double it. Yeah. And she said she want a boy. She said she want a little junior. And she said she ain't gonna call herself CJ. It's gonna be Clifton Jr. Her mama said, okay. Then she said she have a girl. Her name gonna be Clifforetta. Girl, Latrice, stop. Or Gloritha, girl, I got you. Her mama said, I hope not Clifforetta. Okay, so then we go to the event. So Marie has her event. So, Marie tells all the ladies, thank you for coming. She said, she said, Ashley, the trees took me outside. Everybody was like, what? And, she said, I told her I wanted her here so we can all come together and talk. And I know we've been before as a collective and been a big step. And Tamara let us in, on her daughter, London Simone. That was one of the, that solidified everything and validate a lot, that we are moving forward as a collective. And so Marie said, as you know, it has been a lot of outside noise in the collective, and she wants to eliminate. And, Letitia, like, why are we starting with that? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the outside noise? I knew this was coming. I've been told y'all this was coming. Nobody paid attention to the reunion. I don't understand why nobody paid attention to last season, the reunion, and how they overflowed it with this. You had Amanda, okay? Then, when Latrice put that out there, I knew Latrice was bringing a friend. Not Latrice, I'm sorry. Letitia, because Latrice brought a friend. Letitia was bringing a friend. I knew it. I don't think nobody paid attention. I kept telling everybody, I said, she finna bring a friend. She finna bring a friend. I don't think so. Oh, she ain't gonna bring nobody. No, she's bringing a friend. Just pay attention. And then usher in Shantae. Now, you had a little glimpse of Amanda and Shantae Mitzi. Now that another friend has been added as the outside noise, it's a second outside noise, and the heat has been turned up, everybody is saying, okay, listen, we got to turn it out. but nobody paid attention because I paid attention to it the whole time. I knew she was gonna bring one. And Marie, I don't know why Marie looking surprised because at the reunion, Marie already knew what time Letitia was on. When she said, "Oh," when she gave that look, "Oh shoot, what is she finna do?" She knew what time she was on. So Latrice decided not to come. Marie said Latrice decided not to come. She said she wished she was there. She did not tell the rest of the Bells that she invited Shantae, not just yet. And Marie said she feel like they're in a good place and we all have our own friends and we do support each other. She said, so let's just say if Letitia have an event, of course Shantae is her friend that's going to come. She's been a friend since the grade school. She's going to invite her friend. Just true, because Marie had Effie, Latrice had Amanda, Letitia had Shantae. I haven't seen Tamara outside friend, but I believe Tamara outside. If she on the next season, I think she will be. Tamara gonna pop up with a friend. Then Selena might pop up with a friend. Then Carrie, I think it's an introduction. I don't mind it. I know it's coming. Somebody coming next with a friend. But Tamara had Gary with the tea, which they really cool. But Gary wasn't all inside the mess like that. But Tamara does have a friend that probably nobody don't know about that might pop up next season though. Because the way I'm looking at it is, it was Latrice's friend. Because remember, Letitia and Marie had their issues with Latrice. Came Amanda, remember the reunion. So I knew that was going to come. Then, keep up with me. Letitia like, oh, so we bringing friends. Oh, okay. Oh, we bringing outside. Oh, okay. She brought Shantae. Well, I got a friend that can do that too. Marie had Effie, which she gave her stance, but she wasn't really too much in the mess like that. Her friend / business partner. I said, okay, I see where we're going. Tamara gonna bring a friend. I don't know who. Well, her friend was a dentist. But then again, she might bring somebody else, y'all. Hey, good morning. Okay. She might bring somebody else. I don't know. Selena, I don't know. Because her and Cameron mama are really, 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 really cool. Because she was at the birthday party in Kayla mama from Dancing Dolls. I don't know. We have to wait to see. I feel like it's going to get turned up a little bit more next season and seasons after. It's going to be a lot going down. So Marie said, people, there might be people that might like Shantae, or Latrice may not feel Shantae, and they might not come and support because Shantae is there. She present. She say, so what do you do? And then, it's situations like that. And Letitia said, do what I did. I still came to the event. And she said Amanda was there. And she was there. And she was there to support Latrice. Remember I said Amanda. Now, Amanda came and said that Glenn was in her inbox. It started out in mess last season. So, Letitia said she still came out and support Latrice and what we doing. She saying I moved on. And Tamara said, I know this your friend, and I told you how I felt when I first ever sat down with Shantae. Now, word on the curb, and Shantae said, nah, baby, we sat down. We've been cool before, but I guess it's the cameras. This is what Shantae say. I didn't say it. Since the cameras are rolling, I guess so. I don't know. I don't know. Now, Tamara say, she started with the BS, and then she sent the information about her and Damon wasn't together. They basically two friends decided to have a baby. And Tamara said she think that's being messy. And she said on top of that, we heard that she has talked about Letitia. And Letitia say, what? And then Tamara said, to me, that's not a friend. And Letitia looking like, excuse me? And Tamara said she heard that they broken up the friendship and they got back together. And she said she heard that she felt like she was trying to get back, having a friendship with her because she has a new house and she wanted to be seen in her house because in film at her house, that's exactly what she said that Shantae said. because she's broke, and she said that she had to borrow money for her reunion dress from her because she didn't have any money. And Letitia looking flabbergasted because she like, what? I ain't have any money. And the blue reunion dress, she said, how you look handsome as always. And Letitia said she definitely shocked, confused, like, where's this information coming from? She said, because none of it is true. And Tamara said it does put her in an awkward, them and all of the ladies in an awkward position, because she only been friends with her for so many years. We don't know her. And so Marie said, and we moving forward, and Ree said that we need to keep other people out. And Tamara said, exactly. And Marie said all the things that the Bells have gone through, she finally feel like we're all on the same page, collective. And Selena said the collective is going finally in the same direction. And Tamara said it does feel like the collective is trying to move forward. And we just need to eliminate the outside noise. I agree. And Carrie said the outsiders are always the one coming in, mess and drama. So let's make it clear. Amanda might not be there as a friend next season, and Shantae, and I agree. Tamara might not add nobody. So I could be wrong, but if they're coming back together and doing it right, I think it'll work out. I think it'll work out just fine. I do. We'll see. I mean, it's the collective. And Carrie saying, and they need to eliminate it altogether. So as they sit down eating and drinking and telling all this tea, Shantae walk in and she say, what's going on? I heard my name. And Tamara looking like, why is she here? But Marie didn't tell them that Shantae was there so they can put everything out on the table so they can have this conversation. Now, one thing about Tamara, I don't know why she walked out. No, Tamara, no. No, I know you a hot pepper. Stand on it. I want you. No, hell, don't walk out. Cause I know you got into it. You was about to go at it. I appreciate that. But the next time, tell her exactly what you heard. Just like she sat there in front of you and told, you should have sat there and did the same thing. Fair is fair. I wouldn't have walked out on her. I would have said, ooh, and then walked out differently. And then so Tamara looking confused, like, why is she here? So Marie said she invited Shantae there, and Shantae gave Selena a hug. She gave Carrie a hug. She said, hey, Tamara, and Tamara said, hey. And Tamara looking like now, like she said, listen, we all are talking about eliminating the outside noise, and then here comes outside noise. Excuse me, walking right through the door. So Tamara is not happy. She texting on her phone. Nobody's saying anything. And, Letitia said, how are you? She break the ice. They started talking. And Shantae said they look pretty and it was nice to see them. And they said, nice to see you. And somebody said, nice to be seen. And then Tamara said, I'm not going to sit up with Shantae and no hit or no take. She said, no hit or no take. Girl, wait. Why did you say that? She is petty. I like this Tamara. Tamara, it's okay. And then she started getting her stuff and leaving. She say, I'm sorry. And so Marie say, are you leaving? And then she say, yeah. And she say, Tamara. And she said, we just talked about the collective, and we in the collective, and now we have a Belle that don't want to be around because of outside noise. And Marie say, Tamara instantly jumped up and say, you know what, I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. Latrice is not here, and I'm not doing this. And she say, respectfully so, rightfully so, and she get it. And, Tamara say somebody does got to stand up for her. So Shantae say, now you want to stand up, but you didn't stand up for my friend. And Tamara say, no. Who are you yelling at? No, she said, let me tell you something. So she started yelling. So Shantae say, who are you yelling at? Get your finger out my face. Who are you yelling at? So Carrie walked around the table and trying to de-escalate. So Tamara say, you want the spotlight. You want all to do all this. You got the spotlight. So Shantae say, if you doing all this, don't play with me. So Letitia say, now Tamara's activated. Now her and Tamara going at it. And she say, what are we doing here? This is a luncheon. And then, Tamara says she's not a damn Belle. She's sorry. She's not a Belle. Oh well, I don't have to talk to her. She's an extra, extra, extra. Read all about it. Is what she's trying to say. That's not the body language I'm saying. That's just the body language that is given. She is an extra, honey. Girl, please. I guess. Oh my god. So Tamara say, "No, I'm sorry, she not." So Tamara say, "We supposed to be together." She said, "Latrice is not here." She said, "Latrice has actually been one of the Bells who has consistently checked on me during the entire time. And her dad was in the hospital, and she said, Latrice is not here, and she said, therefore, I need to leave this room." And she said, one band, one sound. And so, Shantae said, she ain't telling me what the issue is. And Tamara's walking out. And, Shantae's, they just going back and forth about everything that's said. And then we got left with to be to continue, child. So we don't know the whole situation here of what's going to happen. Will they have a conversation? What is going to be said or nothing? We don't know, right? So, that's something to look at because I want to know what's going to happen next week. Now, Carlos, I don't know why. Why you decide to do that like that. But I give it to you. Good TV, I guess. I give it to you. Because we wanted to see what all was said and what happened. But I guess, child. And then we will see next week what is the continuation. So the continuation, we have the mid-season. So we were left on the mid-season. So that is the end of the starting season. We're getting into the mid-season. Now, I don't know how many episodes, but we'll see, right? So the mid-season, now Belle Collective will not come back on till June 5th at 8. So we're going to hear Carrie tell Matt mom that, she's been in the family since 1998. And she tells her, if you want to stay in the family, you better start respecting me. And then Carrie mama said, oh, hell. Wait, I can't. Carrie mama say, oh, hell no. Wait a minute. How you gonna exile somebody out the family, Matt? Get your Bible. Then we get Selena found a dress, and Tamara meeting up with her about what's not done for the wedding. Latrice says she don't have a venue and a caterer, and she, how she don't have a venue or catering. Selena's worried about it and don't know if it's going to go through. So basically, it seems like Selena fiance is saying, hey, let's go to the courthouse. To me, Latrice told Cliff F him, and she mad about the baby. And Cliff saying, you ain't gonna keep being mad at me about no baby. And then Letitia is asking her husband, should she be just she should be expecting divorce papers, was going on, because Letitia's already prepared. And Glenn said, we can't keep circling around the same thing. Tamara, we go where continues to where Tamara walked out, say she will whoop her, do not play with me today. Latrice talk about Carrie and how Marie called Carrie a liar. Carrie say, and Marie say what you mean and mean what you say. Marie and Carrie go at it, and Marie and tell her, don't tell me what you heard me say. She poke out her lips. I can't. Y'all are best this season. So, yeah, mid-season's going to be great. Now, let's get into Belle Collective. Now we going to Birmingham's, Alabama's, as we travel down this road and where it's nothing. And as we go down this long 2-3 hour drive, if so, and we head on to Birmingham, to the nice countryside out of Jackson, Mississippi, into Alabama, where it's not that far, but it's a nice little ride and we enjoying ourselves, maybe an hour or so, and we're having a good time. And now we finna go to the horse ranches to a canvas party and everybody else. Now, as you know, we do have a TikTok influencer here, honey. I am very proud of her. And let's go. So we go into the continuation of Canvas Beauty pre-release party. Everybody's dancing, having a good time. And you have Kayla and Amber having a question. And Amber says she was telling Stormy when Kayla came in that she didn't speak. And Kayla looking like, what? And Amber say it's like a obvious, like, a step look over. And she say, so is it anything, what's what? And Kayla said, no, absolutely not. Like, she said, I don't, it's a lot going on. I would never not speak to you on purpose. And Amber say, oh, okay, all right, girl. Okay, all right, girl. Conversation on her. And then Amber said that she hit two. She said, coming through the door. And she also is standing at the bar when they were near each other. And they're literally neck and neck and nobody saying nothing to each other. I don't know why Amber mad. Amber, you could have said, oh, hey, girl, you look nice. And yeah, and kept it moving like that, But I guess nobody wanted to say anything to each other. So Amber said it was 2 for 2 at the Frico line today. So Kayla said she always want people to feel welcome and feel loved. And she spoke to everybody that she could. And Amber said at this point, it's a pattern. And Kayla said she could have 100% came up to me and said, hey, Kayla. And I just don't know why. It was me singing out. And Amber said, this the last we saw each other. And she said, you walked out and spoke to everybody. And I said, like, hey. And and she went literally, and Kayla said it wasn't intentional that I didn't say hey to you. She said, I don't remember you saying anything to me. And Amber said, so you just don't be remembering. And Kayla said, I don't remember. She said, I don't have a problem. I don't remember. I barely know her. So, Stormy say it's just two amazing women. And if they knew each other, they would be okay. They'll be getting along and they'll be best friends if they get to know each other. Amber say she'll talk to her, she'll socialize with her, but as far as them being super close, she say she just don't see it happening. And Kayla say she ain't got no problem with nobody. She say we good, and we could do lunch. And Kayla and Amber say, yeah, we can do lunch. And Amber say we can definitely do lunch. All right, let's go unless you forget about it. Who knows? So then we go into the next day. Fumi talked to Stormy and Amber. And Stormy and Amber is invited to Fumi house. Now, if you don't know, Fumi is a TikToker or an influencer where she does trial hauls and stuff in her closet. She go live. She talk about everything. She's the one in all black, the dark skinned one. I love her content. Y'all go check her out. I've been watching her for years. I'm proud of her. I really am. I've been following her for like 3-4 years, maybe longer than that. I think I did follow her YouTube at one point. I don't know if I still follow her on YouTube, but I think she does have a YouTube. But I'm going to find it and send it to y'all. I believe I follow her. Or if not, I don't follow her on YouTube. It's probably just on TikTok. But she's been doing her thing. So she say is she had such an amazing event at Stormy event, and she's so excited to host the ladies. She says she loves connecting to people through her culture, so she cooked assorted small bites of African food and caviar. She say life is too short just to be eating biscuits and gravy every day of your life. And she talking to Stormy, and she saying, the girls at your party, I love all of them. She say she think all of them are very welcoming. She say the only person that wasn't that welcoming was Tiffany. Tiffany say she talked too much, so Tiffany wasn't that welcoming of her. Tiffany say she do a lot of talking. Let me sip my coffee. I ain't got time for Tiffany. Now, Tiffany. Tiffany. Come on now. Everybody was lit, girl. Give a pass, honey. So it showed a clip where Tiffany looking around and just drinking. And she asked Stormy, and she was about to say she said, oh, somebody at the door. So she go get the door, and it is Amber. So Amber show up. She tell her she look gorgeous. And Stormy said, I think that's Amber. I hear Amber. She say, so we got wine, mimosas, and she can do a margarita. So Fumi has she has she has a bartender in her home where the girls come in through the door, they can get them a drink before they go to the kitchen and grab them some bites, a plate of food, and sit down with their drink at the table and talk. So she told she could fix a a mocktail. She asked Stormy, she told the Amber told the bartender, can she have a mocktail margarita? And she sees Stormy. Stormy sees her. Stormy come in and they say, hey. And she say, you look so pretty. You look gorgeous. She grabbed her mocktail. And, she said that she looks, Stormy looks good and the body is bodying. And she knows Stormy said she been eating good. And, Fumi said she was telling Stormy how she didn't get the warmest feeling, from Tiffany. And, Amber said, really, Tiffany is so, excited to see everybody and very outgoing. And Fumi said she ended up talking to her best friend for a long time. And she said, yeah. She said, Kayla, she said, yeah. She said, I think Kendra. She said, yeah. She said, girl, don't come stealing my best friend. And she said, I know she was joking, but first of all, I get the best feeling from you. But she said, she don't want to misinterpret anything. And then as they're talking, Candace, I'm sorry. And as they're talking, the doorbell rang and Amber's talking about the Candace event. And she probably, the first Canvas event, Kendra, Candace, whatever. And basically, one of Tiffany friends, I think her name is Kendra. I hope I ain't saying her name wrong. I gotta get everybody's name right. Forgive me. And she was saying it's her first Canvas event, so she getting to know everything. And Amber said she kind of surprised to hear that Tiffany gave Fumi a cold shoulder. She said that is not Tiffany. So as she opened the door, and guess who it is? Tiffany. And Tiffany said, hey, how are you? And then Amber said, as you called Tiffany in the morning, she's excited at 5 in the morning, shaking and dancing like she doing when she walked into Fumi's house. So, Amber was like, that's just her personality. So she said, how y'all doing? She said, hey to everybody. And then as soon as Tiffany walked in, Stormy little fur baby just started growling and barking. And Tiffany said, she said, I'm going to give you an air hug. And he just started acting up. And Trey starts acting up. And Stormy said, that is a lot. Like, why is he acting up like that? So then they get dressed at Fumi's house in the African garments, and they look so cute. And Stormy started talking about the TikTok live that she's having this week, that week on the show, that she would love for them to come down. And she asked how they feel about being on camera. And Tiffany said, I really hate attention. And, Stormy said, how did you feel, the day that all attention was on you at your wedding? And, Tiffany had a viral proposal. And she said she did. And Tiffany said, oh my gosh, that man blew her mind, honey. Oh, that was her. She had a, Tiffany's viral wedding video. So y'all remember the video that went viral? She was in a white wedding dress. She got proposed to. And then she had a wedding at the same time. That's her. And she said he pulled off a whole wedding. And she said her mind is still blown. And, Stormy said, that was so beautiful. Tell me about it. And she said her best friend and her husband planned it. And she said that same day, she had a surprise birthday dinner. She was supposed to surprise him for his birthday, and she was having the friends come in from out of town. They had a private dinner, a little party. And she said when she walked in there, she was like, whoa. And Fumi said, wouldn't like it. She said, but I love that for you. She said, I'm so the type that I would be like, what the hell is going on? She said, but he knew you well enough that you would love it. And she said she loved that. And, Tiffany says that, that was her, that's the man of her dreams. And she loved that, have a man like this, what we doing. And she say, okay. She say, okay. They was just, sharing like a okay then, girl, And then Stormy asked, do you know your style and stuff like that and your dress and stuff? And she said that Tiffany said her dress had the stylist posted because what she thought they were having a girls' day trying on dresses. And she was like, oh my God, I love this dress. She said, I'm going to put on layaway. And then, when the time does come, but she didn't think the time would be that day, like 2 more weeks. And Fumi say Tiffany has great faith, and for her to go out and get the dress and put it on layaway, she say I have faith too, but she say I just need to like propose, then go find the dress. And then she said that they went on their honeymoon, and Tiffany got pregnant. And Stormy say she didn't know that, and she say she thought it was years, and she say no. And Stormy say, "Wait, what?" She said that's a lot of questions. She said, "But I ain't gonna ask none right now." And then Tiffany told Fumi, she said, "Hey, I have to go." Um, and she gave her a hug. And Tiffany said she hate to leave, but she got to go get her kids. And then, Tiffany left and she said, "Bye, y'all. Y'all be good." And then Fumi said, "Okay," when I was telling Stormy earlier, I didn't get like a warmest vibes from Tiffany. She said when she met her at Stormy's event, she was like, "Don't be stealing my best friend." And she was like, "Oh, okay, that's weird." And she said, "You think I should come to Tiffany's event?" So everybody was like, "Yes, you need to come to Tiffany's event," and talk to her, then leave. And her friend said, if the conversation go well, then you can stay. And she said, okay. She said, "I appreciate you guys coming, bringing such warm energy." She said, "Go to the kitchen, grab a to-go box and take the food with you and take some for your man." So this time they go to Stormy is talking to Lala. Lala look good, y'all. She look amazing. She looks good. White is her color. Her and Lisa Ray might have to do a white thing because they look good. So Stormy, say hey to Lala, and Lala say she's excited. And they're doing the shoot for Canvas, and Stormy say, well, she say Lala Anthony's gonna be in everybody's face on the Canvas Beauty. She said that's what the photo shoot is for, and she told her she looked good. She saying just for the market, the collaboration, and the fashion it deserved. And then, she told Lala, she said, "Oh my God, Lala, like what?" Lala always been the same. Let me tell you something. I love Lala. I know y'all, some of y'all met Lala on Power. I met Lala when she was on the radio station and she lied about her age. And then when she hit of age, a couple of further, like maybe 2 or 3 years past, Lala was the VJ on MTV. I remember Lala started dating Carmelo, trying to keep it a secret, and came out and got married. She tried to hide her pregnancy, and she was on Flavor Flav, and she had to announce her pregnancy because I don't know who it was. One of the girls tried to throw a shoe at Tiffany, and she was like, "Listen, don't throw no shoes. I'm pregnant, and I can't have y'all throwing shoes." I've known Lala for years. And I love this for her. I cried. My heart was hurt when she got a divorce. I wanted to cry because I've seen them for so long. So I like this growth of Lala. But yeah, Lala say she feels sexy again and she feel good, and that's what she needed. She haven't felt like that in a long time. And Stormy say she did such a great job, and Lala say, "I didn't do it by myself. I did it with you." And Stormy say, "Yeah, it's a journey." She say, "Your mind is." Lala told her, say, "Your mind is different. The way you think of things and brainstorm, and the things you think and execute it." She said it's really a powerful thing to see. And Stormy say, "Don't make me cry." She say, "I mean it." And Stormy say she's still shocked that that Lala reached out to her in the DMs. And to be honest, she never even thought about a celebrity activation for the company. And Lala say, "I found you." She say, "I slid in your DMs and I was like, what is we doing?" And she say she's so glad. And Stormy said to be able to ask someone like Lala, just not a massive celebrity, but also has a personal heart. And she said she couldn't ask for a first collaboration, a greater first collaboration. And the woman is truly, generous. And she said the live is going to be crazy, 48 hours. And she said we're going to be doing it next week. She excited. And Stormy say, "Oh my God, it is next week." And her heart just bumping. And she say, she say it's next week. And Stormy say, "It's next week." And she said, Lala say, "Yes." And Stormy say they are 7 days away from the live, and that's where the ish get real crazy. Stormy said, "What the f?" And Lala say, "Yeah." And Stormy say, "I'm gonna send you everything too by Friday." So she waiting on boxes that's supposed to arrive 3 days before the live, and she said all she knows, she told that the quality of them would be better than the prototype, because remember, she hated the prototype because Stormy was like, if I put the products in it, I don't want them to fall out. They're supposed to still be in there, which is great. I agree. And the foam that holds it just fell out, and the products can easily fall out, which I don't blame her. And she spent thousands of dollars on that. And for it to come out wrong, it just not it. And she said she already committed to the collage. She done pushed it back one time. She said, we are here. It has to be done. And she believed that God want that for her so bad that she know he didn't bring me this far to leave me, that it has to work. And so Stormy say everything they gotten so far, we really here in Birmingham. And Lala said that's what she heard. And, Stormy say in addition to the Lala suit, she also have a canvas spread that she have all the creators in the same house for a week to produce 100%, 100 pieces, 100% of content, because every single live we try to outdo the last one that we did. I like that. So she has like a content creator home. That's pretty neat. When they come in, shoot all content for Canvas. The photo shoot is there. You have your content creators. You have that's good. That's a good thing, especially connecting to social media. Social media is such a big thing. And so the photographer giving directions for Lala and say to have her leg out and stuff, and Stormy like her photo shoot. It looks great, and she says she locked the crop and trying to give her, she's working through what directions to give, how to give the directions. And Stormy said before she became a college dropout, she was 24 credit hours away from having a BFA in painting and photography. And she said that she wanted to change. She said she has a strong artistic background, so she know what she want to use. She know how she want to do it. So she knows, what to do. Like, she was almost finished, but she just dropped out and went to do something else, which worked in her favor. So what she did was she put the canvas butter on her, and she said truly that's how Canvas was inspired. So she put butter on her legs, some canvas butter on her legs, and let her take picture with it to help give her that shine. Because the way the sun is hitting, once it hit her skin with that on it, that was a good thing though. That's gonna hit that skin, baby. It's gonna pop and it's gonna sell out, honey. Okay, so everybody was applauding and she was walking and stuff, and then she changed into different looks, and it was looking good. The Lala looked amazing, and the way that the light just hit her skin with it, it even looked better. So the shoot was a success. And then we go into Kayla. So Kayla talks to her boyfriend Jason, her older man, her new daddy. Okay, so she having a photo shoot with the kids. She say high five. She say, have you done this before? And she told the kids and say he did a great job. And she told the little boy, and then her man came up there with some flowers, honey, a nice bouquet of roses. I'm gonna have to find me a little name for him. Her little sugar. He can't be a sugar daddy. He's her boyfriend. He is older. I can't call him grandpa, babe. We gave that to somebody. Daddy Uncle Bay or Uncle Daddy Bay. We gonna find something. But yeah, he brought her a bouquet of roses, honey. Showed up and she was like, "Oh, thank you." And she said Jason is in marketing. He lives in Dallas. They're long distance. And typically when he come to town, he stays in the hotel. And they hung out for the weekend. And she said her and Jason have a little bit of an age difference too, but she said they grown now. And she said she truly don't think she can date someone her age, which she can't, because when she married her husband, she was young. So I mean that's a little hard for her. You got to give the girl time. And she said because she went through so much, she was married for 18 years. She says there's nobody 15 years. She said there's wait a minute, 20? Damn. She said there's nothing you could tell a woman that's 35 that's been married for 15 years. And she say Jason is 15 years older than her. So he's 50. Is she 35? Okay. 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 Well, so she told Jason, she was thinking about him meeting the kids, and she said, okay. He was looking like, oh wow. And she say, I'll sit the flowers down because it's getting serious. And she say the reason why they really told the kids that they were more than friends, because the divorce was just finalized, and she don't know what her apprehension is, but they don't know the timeline. And she say her and Jason has been coming up to a year, but her divorce was finalized 4 months ago. So she started dating him, I guess, after they were separated. And she said marriage um was over well before it was final on paper. And he said he just want to be a bonus support system, teaching them, the same thing that their dad is teaching them, and little things, and they think they'll be all right. Very easygoing. It's just the older ones. And Kayla has 4 kids, and she do think it's important that they know about Jason, but she want the timing to be right. And Kayla say one of the things that's always been important to her is that they respect their dad. And she said they, as their father, she never said nothing negative about him. And he, and Jason said he agreed. She never said nothing negative, never said anything mean. And, in front of the kids, if it was something, that just have her most respect. And, Kayla was saying, she was tired. She was tired of having to explain herself. She was tired of feeling like she was doing something wrong when she wasn't. And, she said it's just been hard. You know, she said she truly couldn't do it without him, and, learning how to set boundaries. And she said she's such a crybaby. She said learning to set boundaries in certain things to be, you know, that is really helpful for her to be who she is. And he say most women don't make it out, and that's what he admired about her, that she has the strength to keep going. And she say, we got this. So then we go into Canvas Creative Boot Camp, the TikTok Live, I believe. No, she go to camp. Is it the TikTok Live? No, sorry. This is the meeting with her team, and she was basically having a creative meeting. She was holding a meeting with her team. We're about to go into creative stuff in a minute. After this, I'm going to do one more live, and then I'm going to bed. Okay, so, she walks in, and everybody walk in, they sit down. She say, hello, hello. She speak to the team and say, let's all come around and meet. And she said with the photo shoot with Lala Anthony, they literally have to start from there. And she says since they've been in Birmingham for a few days, getting the content, and she know this is the Canvas Creative Boot Camp, right? And she say, where it get to 500 to 1,000 pieces of content, where it's considered to be a midweek critique. And she said they got so much work to do. They have to go through raw footage, create short form content. Oh God, girl. Oh. So they have to create a short form content. Short form is like 15 seconds to a minute. And some of her content can be up to 3 minutes. If some of the raw footage that they have, go through and edit whatever they need to edit out, upload it, whatever they have, post anything about it, put it on, whatever it is that they got to do, right? On top of that, she has to they have to edit the photos, and she say it's also the perfect time to get all the creative mind on the same frequency for the live. And she say it's a lot that's on their plate. And she say she can't wait to see the work that they have done and put together, what they thought was the best. And someone said everything has been great so far, but Delano, he said him and Faith have a little conflict a little bit. And Chanel is fanning. She said they decided to go on the road to do an interview, and he decided to go to Publix. He said Faith came to his block and she literally started taking all his customers. And somebody said, Micah said, "Good Lord." And Faith said, "It's not our clients, it's Canvas clients." And Delano say, "We have 500 videos to get done, right?" He said, "If I'm targeting a customer or trying to get one interview, there's no way you're supposed to come to the same customer. We have 400 different customers walking into Publix." And, somebody asked, it was like she was hijacking his clients or whatever. And he said they were at a busy intersection, and Faith could have easily went across the intersection and target the people. And he said they had the video, so he recorded Faith doing this. He recorded Faith and showed it to everybody. And Chanel is clacking the fan like, "Girl, this is tea. What happened? What you got?" Like, Chanel like, "Look, it ain't me, but I'm loving this. What we got?" So he said he got his customer smelling the product, and she has her customer right there. And Faith keep asks about to his customer, "Do you keep your skin moisturized?" And they start laughing and say she go in the back and go in the customer face. He say, "You can't do that." And Stormy say, "I don't think this is funny." Stormy say, "We hoping that she hoped that they're put things to the side and diffuse the situation, because the last thing that they need is for a creative camp is to go south, because the live is so close." And Faith say her issue with her is to what is the issue that Faith has with Delano is he waited to say something when she came in and had a meeting, and he could have said something to her first. And he said, "I'm gonna keep it 100. Sometimes you need to hear it in front of people." Like, he started shading her. Chanel was like, "Wait, what?" Like, oh, is he really being like this in front of her right now? He said, "Sometimes you need to hear it in front of people. Sometimes." And Faith say, "But that answered my question." He said, "Sometimes you need to hear, the criticism in front of everybody. Sometimes they need to be brought to your attention." Oh, and everybody looking like, "Okay, Faith, what you gonna say?" And she say, "So what we gonna talk about now?" He say, "You need an audience." He say, "I don't need an audience. I have a platform." And Stormy said she don't think Delano wanted an audience. She felt like he wanted more so for her to answer the question that was told. And he said, "Yes." And she said, "If I offended you, and I sincerely apologize, that could have been said to me when we got back." And a lot of people agreed, because they was like, "Yeah, you could have said something when you got back." And he was like, "I'm going to tell you how I feel. I kind of lost a little respect for you because I watched you the whole weekend, and this is just me being real." And then Faith break down in tears. And then he just like, no, he tried to bully her. He tried to shade and bully her because Delano wanted his 15 minutes, and I agree with everybody, because he could have pulled her to the side. And, he didn't have to do that. And Faith was crying, and Stormy asked what's wrong. And she said, "What is it?" And she said, "For Lano to say, that's not fair." She said, "That's not fair." And she said, Delano said, "I can't be faking it and tell you, oh yeah." He said, "I'm being a hypocrite." He said, "I can't do that. I'm gonna tell you how I genuinely feel, and we have to move on." And Stormy said she just want people to be able to express themselves and do content and critique, what I'm saying, what need to be critiqued. But he was being funny, trying to say, "Well, I have a platform." He was being funny with that. He didn't have to say that. She got a platform too. So that's just me. I just feel like that wasn't needed. But like, she said she want people to express themselves and do content and express themselves at the end of the day, and critique is part of that. She said we don't always like what the person got to say, but it's not always an attack. And Stormy said her role in this space is to allow everybody opportunity to be heard, to be felt. And I agree with that. And to make sure they keep the situation with a lid on it. And she said, out of all the critiques that I was seeing in, she said, I'm able to find something that helped me be better. And she said, that's what she want mid critique to be. She say she don't need no discourse, especially when we're so close to doing something record breaking like having a 48-hour live stream. And she say we family, we gonna get bigger and we gonna have to lead teams, you know. And she say, damn, I know 4 people on here, but she said, but she did comment and she left a comment on OMGFG reality, the clip, and she said, woo, I was so nervous about having a team meeting. Now, some people said she was laughing because they say diffuse, now Stormy. And someone said he could have pulled her to the side and expressed it versus how he did it just now. I wouldn't interact nor work with him again. Some people say people need to realize at times when people cry, they are angry and trying to flip and try not to flip out because this is me. Somebody say he sounds Jamaican with his name. Um, they said that they love this. They said spinoff is that Stormy meeting or his. So yeah, a lot of people had mixed feelings about it. And then we go into Fumi questions Tiffany. So they're at Tiffany event. And you know, who done gave Stormy that African? Stormy don't put that African outfit back on, child. Storm say, I like this. And so, you know, Fumi talked to Tiffany, and Fumi said she knows it's her event. It's Tiffany event. She pulled her to the side. She said, I know this your event, and I don't want to make this weird. She said, I just wanted to make sure that we got this moment to talk and make sure that I feel good when I'm around you, and you feel good when you're around me. And Tiffany said, why would we not feel good when we're around each other? And you know how she looked at Fumi like, what's wrong? What's the problem? And Fumi said there was a couple of things that happened at Stormy's event. You said, oh, don't steal my best friend. And she didn't know how to take it. So Tiffany looking confused, like what? She said, I don't recall saying that. And she said, I'm not going to say that I didn't say that, but I'm going to say I don't recall saying it. And Fumi said, you definitely said that. And Tiffany said, I'm not going to say I didn't say it because if I said it, I did say it. But what I'm saying is I don't remember saying it. Now, I know Tiffany don't remember saying it because Tiffany, like I said, was lit. I think everybody was lit. Stormy had the drinks going. Everybody was hitting that bar, that open bar, baby. They was getting them drinks at that party. They was having a good time. Tiffany don't remember. Tiffany was having her a good time outside, okay? Like she was enjoying herself, you know. And then, you know, Fumi would say, and you know, Stormy sitting here nosy. She trying to get they're still talking, and you know, she say she so knows she trying to get the tea. And you know, Fumi said everybody seemed warm and inviting, and the only person that I felt that wasn't was you. And Tiffany like, oh, okay. She said the vibe was off, and I don't know how to explain it. And Tiffany said, I do own the room. And Fumi said, okay. And Tiffany said, I'm very confident. I don't think it had anything to do with making you feel that way. And Fumi said, I'm not intimidated by your confidence. Let me tell you what I think is happening. Fumi is Nigerian, okay? She came to America. Fumi doesn't understand when someone jokingly be like, girl, don't steal my friend. Like, we know that, right? Fumi does not know. It's a little bit of a disconnect because Fumi never had, like Fumi said, she had to, you know, her sister, and that's just what it was. She never had that, ooh, girl, don't steal my friend. And you be like, hi, girl, I ain't finna steal your friend, but we can all be friends, you know, having jokes. She don't know. I think that's the disconnect. So I think Tiffany took it as, girl, what you mean I own the room? Fumi like, hold on, girl, it's not that. I'm just saying, like, I didn't feel that at first. Like, calm down. It's never that serious. It's a little disconnect going on. It's a little they're not understanding how it's going. I think that's what she don't know. It's okay. So, you know, Tiffany like, oh, okay. She said, but I didn't say that you was. She said, "Are we gonna give each other time to talk?" And Fumi said, "That's fine. You're right. I interrupted you." And so Tiffany said, "You did." And Fumi said, "Oh." She said, Fumi said, "Okay, all right. I'm sorry, Tiffany." So it gets there. So when we go into what's gonna happen next week, Fumi and Fumi walks out. Stormy have a conversation with her about something about when somebody don't vibe, like it's a discernment, like the energy, and she don't see it. She say, "Did you leave the dog with her?" And Stormy say, you know, she said, "What you want me to do? Doors, this and that." Tiffany say, "I need you to mop." Stormy says, "You lucky I didn't tell you that I was gonna mop the," because Tiffany got mad that she just left it in help. She said, "You need me to wipe down the doors? What you need me to do?" She said, "I need you to mop." Stormy looked at her like, "Girl, who the hell you yelling at?" Like, Stormy said, "You lucky I didn't tell." She lucky I didn't tell her I was gonna mop the floor with her. And then Sunita gave a phone call to Amber and said that Kayla and Fumi are, and everybody in Amber was invited to the live. Stormy disinvited Tiffany, and Kayla is in the car with Fumi. And Fumi was asked by producers, do they see Kayla having any daddy issues? Fumi sat there, blinked her eyes. I wasn't gonna say nothing. Everybody got a preference of what they like. Now, Kayla dating these older men does give that. I have a lot to say. I want to say about Kayla. I don't want to sound rude, but I'm finna be honest. Kayla marrying that man at 20 years old, it could be some daddy issues, but at the same time, Kayla like, hell, he older. It's a safety net. But at the same time, it does look like daddy issues. At the same time, it could be a safety net. I can't get mad. But at the same time, you dating a lot of older, but that's her preference. I mean, these men are older than Kayla. Like 15, 20 plus. 15 to 20 years older. Kayla met that man when she was in college at Hooters. They got married when she was 20 and she started popping out babies. Um, so crickets, and then we had Canvas Beauty go live. So she's saying about how much longer she getting frustrated. Stormy said they got so much to do, and it's so much that she can't think of. Lala saw what she did and she was amazed by it. It was amazing. So we getting into the next season, next episode for that. So, all right, y'all, we're gonna end this live here. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish my 2 lives right now, because if I don't, I'm going to crash. I don't want to crash. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather take me a nap after. We're gonna do a Duggars live. It's supposed to be at 10:35. I'm gonna go ahead and make it 10:10. I'll see you guys at 10:10. That is in 15 minutes. And we're going to talk about the Duggars and all the information I have. And then we're going to make sure it stay under an hour so I can be up and ready by 7:15 tonight. And we can have us a good old time tonight. And I could be energy. Have the energy because I'm stumbling. But we're going to try to make it quick. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Meet me here tomorrow. Well, no, at 10:15. 10:10. Now for our other reality cap will be in the morning at 10:45. And then we have another at 8:15 p.m., 10:45 in the morning, which is Love and Marriage Huntsville. And Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we got some other stuff to talk about too that is really juicy. But now we're going to get into the Duggars at 10:10, and then we're going to have Lit Live Saturday. So after that, we're back on regular schedule. I'm finna end this live. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Stay subscribed to both channels, y'all. Do not unsubscribe. Okay, we're almost to a 1K. The quicker you guys we get to 1K, the quicker we can put both of the channels together. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.